he knows details that nobody else knows. Typically, that screams out, I did it. Who else would know that this young Juilliard co-ed was on her period? Who else would know that a stake was driven into the dirt between her legs? Who else would know that she had a broken rib? And now she's telling him from beyond the grave that she's angry police haven't found the real killer. The only person that talks about the real killer is O.J. Simpson and Scott Peterson.
Well, Nancy, the thing about it for me is so many times in criminal investigations when individuals speak to law enforcement informs them of information, and they then tell law enforcement or confirm things to law enforcement. Then law enforcement already knew, and then they put it back on the witness and say—
Could you just give me that scenario, please, Robert Schoch? How in the scenario where they're talking to this guy that is in this part where she's found day and night with his aggressive Rhodesian Ridgeback dog, how would that come up in a conversation? Hey, did you know she was on her period?
It's not a point
How does that work?
It's not a point of a question, more of a statement.
Put him up, please.
And the most important thing for me is, was this conversation
No,
with—
I want you to tell me, how does that happen? Because seasoned police officers do not divulge
You were making an assumption
from the scene.
Right, we're making an assumption that seasoned police officers did this interrogation or did this interview.
You're making the assumption that the police told him these
Secondarily
facts.
to that, did they record it? Have they recorded it either audio or video to be able to release to say this is what he said versus what we said? Absolutely not. We haven't received any portion of that interview. It was probably on sketch notes. It was we don't know how long it was, the parameters of it. Did he ask for a lawyer?
So Schoch's response is they didn't record it. When I see a suspect that knows intimate details of the murder scene that nobody else knows, that's a red flag. Do you not agree with that?
No, of course I agree with it, but there is a scenario where this guy is sort of a neighborhood watchman, and he might have gotten information from local cops on the beat that they just spilled their beans. I mean, come on, the local cops don't necessarily keep things tight like detectives do. It's possible he found that out. It seems like he's a nut, though.
Okay,
well,
a nut is not a defense under the law. Clark Goldband, isn't it true that this guy is trying to put the blame on somebody else? That when cops